Now, I think that's the end of the questions. If you would like to take a few minutes to talk about anything, actually address the 9th District.
Sure. I welcome the opportunity. I appreciate the questions, and for all those who put those together, excellent questions. Very similar to many of the other questions I've heard over the last 12, 14 months, actually, that I've been out there actively campaigning for this seat. And, you know, it has been a wonderful experience to go around to talk about things that I really care about, to meet people, because you shouldn't be involved in politics if you don't like people, and to share with them my vision of the country and where we ought to be headed. I think people are hungry for genuine leadership, and that means going to Washington, prepared to kick some doors down and make some tough decisions. They're hungry for people who will consistently listen to them and their concerns and won't forget about them should they go to Washington. I've been really humbled that a lot of people have bought into this campaign and become very actively involved, believing that we represent that sort of change. Our country, our system of government, a unique system of government of we the people, is designed for self-respecting citizens, self-reliant people who can take care of themselves, their families, and their communities. That system of government, that way of life, is under fire right now. It's under siege by this radical agenda of all kinds of spending and reaching beyond the bounds of the Constitution. As I said before, and I'll continue to say it, though the Democrats have been especially irresponsible in their Congress in recent months, the Republicans lost their way in recent years too. And it's time that we turn the page on that recent history. It's time that we send to Washington a group of people who are committed to ensuring that we have a new era of responsible leadership. After the Battle of Gettysburg, Abraham Lincoln, our first Republican president, who grew up in Indiana's 9th District, later became a railroad attorney and ended up in Washington during an incredibly difficult time, a different sort of difficult time. But he addressed his fellow countrymen after the Battle of Gettysburg, and he said that this nation under God needs a new birth of freedom. I always love that phrase, and I think it's appropriate as my wife and I are expecting 2 more kids. We're having a birth in our family. I really think this country needs a new birth of freedom. And it's my hope that in a small way, here in southern Indiana, we're doing our part to give us that new birth, to help take back our government, to help take back our Congress. I believe we've been leading the charge in this effort for the last year plus. I hope others will join this charge. And let me stare in the camera now and say, I invite you to join this charge. We can do this. To the Tea Party movement, you got involved in this effort because you want a better life, a better future for yourself, your family, your community, for posterity. And these rallies have made a difference. All the different things associated with the Tea Party movement have made a difference. We may have killed the most radical versions of health care. We may have scared them away from cap and trade. We are scaring them from even proposing some of the more left-wing proposals now. But our business is not done. We need to send to Washington a new era, a new generation of leaders who are going to be committed to everything you believe in. And if you become actively involved in this campaign, on the ground, working the phones, putting out yard signs, talking to your neighbors, we can win this thing. So I invite you to be the Minutemen of this effort. And if you'd like to kick my tires further, I'd be happy to visit with you. Visit our website at toddyoungforcongress.com. And you've probably heard me drone on long enough, so I'm going to give it back to you, Larry.
That's terrific, Todd. Actually, this concludes this interview. It's been very informative and sounds very much like what you have consistently and very deftly been explaining to the 9th District Tea Parties and other groups, wherever they may be. Congratulate you on that.